Om Shanti everyone, welcome. Welcome to the Monday workshop series and Happy New Year to everyone. Today we have with us Sister Deepa, a very special guest speaker, but she's very dear to the whole Brahmin family, and she has been with Baba since her childhood, but for the more than 3 decades, she has been giving her services for doing Baba Seva, not only in Bombay but also in our headquarters in Mount Abu, and she has been serving the youth and all the wings. We have 21 wings. She is part of the majority of the wings. She has done a lot of service not only in person but also on internet. You can find a lot of her beautiful sessions on YouTube. Sister Deepa has a very angelic presence, and then I was listening to a lot of her sessions online, and please welcome Sister Deepa. And this session, I want to give special attention to this. Not only is a new year, but also this is Avyakt month. This month is when we have our angelic silence. We have Avyakt silence. We have an opportunity to engage with Baba and absorb Baba's powers and virtues, and come closer to the Avyakt family. And today we have the Sister Deepa, who's going to help us come a little closer to that. And we also have Gita Ben. Gita Ben, you want to share something before Shanti? Gita Ben? Oh, I think so. So when Gita Ben comes back, until then, so we get to hear Deepa Ben. Om Shanti, welcome.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Geeta Devi and Sukanya Ben. It's so nice to see you. Hema Ben, Om Shanti Didi. So it's a pleasure to meet the San Francisco family and to see all my sweet Didis over here and some of my special friends also. It's a pleasure to connect in the Avyakt month and in the beginning of the month. So again, Happy New Year to you. And as Harsha Bhai was saying that Baba's this month is magical for all of us. And each one of us has a beautiful plan, and Baba has a plan for us. But I'm sure we must have each one discussed with Baba what we want to experience in this month. And Baba's magical presence is so powerful in this month that whatever beautiful thoughts we have for our own Purusharth, Baba automatically fulfills them. We have that first step of determination, and Baba automatically starts pulling us closer to him and to our spiritual goals. And I think as I look back, when Harsha Bhai was saying that I should be sharing some of my life experiences, according to the topic and this month, which is awakening this angel within, I think Baba, when he selected us, he had already seen that angel within us. And Baba's beautiful journey with us has been, as he has slowly and slowly helped us to see ourselves as an angel and akin that. And I have been very lucky to be connected with Baba at a very young age. And more so, from that little young age, I have been able to connect with very beautiful angels. And the first angel, the first Dadiji which I connected with was Brijendra Dadiji. Again, 1st January is also the time when we remember Dadi, because she attained her Avyakt stage in 1st January 1990. And so as that young age also, when I still remember my experience of interacting with Dadi, I recognize that every moment connecting with her was so beautiful. And that special friendship which she gave us, because we were so young at a physical level, little children coming to the center, and I was coming with my Lokik mother. I was the only child, so she had no other option but to bring me even from the beginning when she was doing her course. And in all those interactions, Dadi's special attention, love was so internally fulfilling. And even at that young age, there was a magical feeling at the center where I know that I was so comfortable here, needed by everyone connecting and giving Baba's love. Dadi Ji's special vision towards each one, seeing them as a soul and being able to see the soul's past, present, and future. The Trikaldarshi Drishti of Dadi's has been magical for all of us whenever we have interacted with any one of them. And though I was very young, 5 years old, yet Dadi must have been able to see that yes, this child has this deep connection with Baba and the yagya and the family. And so she gave me so much of loving sustenance. And from that time only, her special care was experienced. I still remember that because we were all young, there were other little children coming. And our main attraction was towards Dadi. And also, yes, the toli which we used to get at that time. Children were given special toli. And Dadi always showered her love and affection, and also the divine family. So every nearly Sunday, Dadi used to spend that little special time with all of us. And I still remember that how she used to be seated in front of us. This was this beautiful sofa in front, all sides. And so that many people can be seated in front of her to interact with her, to take her drishti. And so she used to ask all of us to be seated there. So this little children seated there. And yet Dadi always looked at us as Baba's child, as Baba's angel. So she gave us a lot of love, but also respect. And as much as Dadi had that care or attention towards interacting with all the other seniors of the divine family, Baba's Ras children, and other Kumaris, all those who were physically in much older bodies, that much only love and that much only respect she gave us. And interacting with all of us, helping us to see how we can apply this knowledge even as a child. Asking us that when we are remembering, where do we remember Baba before we start our studies? And if maybe there is a situation where we get scolded by our parents, what do we do? How do we talk to Baba? When we have a test, exam, so that special attention which Dadi gave us and gave us those little tips of using Baba's wisdom in our daily life. So that's so beautiful how Baba has been from the first day through Murlis, helped us to apply his wisdom in our daily life. And I think that key which Baba has given us to apply this knowledge in our thoughts, feelings, emotions, our responses, our interactions, how we see a situation, how we interact with each one. And because of that, slowly and slowly, we find this Baba's knowledge becomes a way of our life. And I remember that at that time when we were so young, yet we got so connected with Papa, Dadi. And maybe at that time, Dadi used to teach us meditation and, few thoughts Dadi had given us, and even individually, because every child had a different background. And yet, Dadi was able to give that much attention and time to us. And a little understanding of the background, she gave those beautiful thoughts which we needed to share with Baba in our meditation. So she used to lovingly check us also, that our whole routine, what we are doing, and remind us. And so at that young age, I find, up to my education, where I finished my education, I was able to now, if I look back, I can see how Baba helps us to strengthen our foundation. And maybe because in the beginning, as a child, when we get connected with Baba and we receive such loving sustenance, so talking to Baba becomes much more easier. And so in every moment, every aspect of our life, we are sharing with Baba. And that, I think, has been one of the key, beautiful experiences which have helped me to strengthen the foundation of my life. Sharing with Baba, talking with Baba. Every situation being able to see it as an observer, discussing it with Baba. And so those moments which I see where there were challenges in the family front, a little bit in relationships, because that was a time when there was a little challenge in our family between parents, and then mother got separated. And at that time, how Dadi very beautifully enabled me to see Baba as the father, because I was now going to be taken care of with my mother. And so Baba is your father, and Baba is your friend, and how you can talk to Baba, experience that. And beautiful experiences at that time, when as a child, there is some situation and you immediately look upon and tell Baba, Baba, this is there. And you've experienced Baba's support. Even at a physical level, if I look back, many times as a young child, I used to feel that, Baba, I need to go here, but I'm a little concerned how I go there alone. And Baba, you hold my hand. And Baba holds our hand, the feeling, the experience of Baba physically holding our hand like a father, protecting us, taking care of us, and helping us to move across in that situation. And so those little experiences, some have strengthened my own faith in myself, my own deep faith in Baba, but also this bonding and companionship with Baba. So very naturally, slowly, it became that nearly every moment of my life I will share with Baba. And the other inspiration I can see in my younger time was the Lokik mother also, because even though there was a challenging situation in front of her, for her, Baba was her life partner, and so easily and with so much of strength, she was being able to sail across, connecting with Baba, taking support from Baba. And so even those small little situations or even big situations which used to come, I found that if I look back, that it was as if Baba says that the obstacle comes, and yet because Baba's hand of blessings is over your head, it comes and it just goes, making you even stronger, making you even more powerful. And that little childhood had passed away and now had gone to college. And that was a real test. And I remember they again used to keep connecting with us and checking on us, what we are doing in college and what we are wearing and how we are dealing with our friends and all those different distractions which come there. And Dadi had those loving guidance and some principles. But there's one thing which I remember, which was life changing as I can experience, is that when I was in college, I had just, I think, the first year. And as we know that the environment of college is a little different. And so somewhere it becomes distracting also. And so for me, from being very protected childhood and with Papa, and then also the school also was a very convent school, very protected, and then going to college. And so amongst all the other things, the influence of friends, like Baba says, rang lagta hai, that is a little bit of influence of the company is there. And then looking at others and their lifestyles, which is different, which is more extrovert. And so there were, few experiences where I felt somewhere there was a diversion without being aware of it. And there was this one time where all my friends were insisting that no, it's been a long time from childhood, you've been wearing your hair in this way, we should have a different hairstyle. And somewhere, I got influenced and, carried away by that. And I think I didn't communicate to my mother also, but I had just gone to the parlor somewhere and got a new haircut done. And then there were some setting on the nails and this and that, so a little feelings that, okay, now the physical appearance also should be taken care of and should be, pleasant and all that. So I had those, little grown nails and also some color on them. And I always thought I was a little clever. So when I used to go to the center, and especially if Dadi is there and she's giving toli, many times from Madhuban toli comes and Dadi used to give. So very cleverly, I used to keep the other hand beneath my hand so that I can hide those things and Dadi is not going to see them. And I remember this one instance where I was sitting for Bhog in the science center. Dadi, we used to go to the science center because at that time I came to Baba with my Lokik mother in the year 72, 73. So at that time, there were very few centers in Mumbai. And so the closest to us was Science, which was again 1.5 hours to reach there. And so every Thursday from the college, I used to directly go. And I was sitting in Bhog, and Malat Idi just tapped me and told me that after Bhog, Didi is calling you. So I said, I'm so happy. And so after Bhog, the enthusiasm was there that, to just go and meet Didi. Brijendra Dadiji was called also Didi at that time. And so as soon as I went inside, Didi gave me loving drishti and as usual, made me sit down, asked about what's happening with my studies, with my purushart. And then Didi shared this beautiful thought with me. And that Didi said, see, from childhood, I've been seeing you. And when I'm seeing you now, I've entered college. This is the age, 16. So that is the time when even Mama had come in the beginning in the yagya. And so when I see you, physically, also the frame was clean. So she said, when I see your face, remember Mama when she had come. And it's so nice when I see you to remember Mama, but you have kept one sign with you in your physical appearance, which reminds me of this picture. And we have the 7 days course, we have this picture where we have Kumbhakarna And you must have seen that picture. Kumbhakarna is sleeping, and this, well, these pictures are used in India, at least for the 7 days course, but I'm sure you may have seen them. And, this sister that is holding this nectar of knowledge in his ear, and, he's still sleeping. And above that, there is this picture of the whole earth being held by a demon, and this demon has long nails. And, the whole earth burning in the fire, these vices. And the demon sitting there holding the earth. I think some of you would have remembered that picture. And so Dadi said, when you have kept one sign with you where I remember this demon, because he has also big nails. And as soon as Dadi said that, I just put my head down, and I realized that this is what Dadi was telling me about. But that moment, as Dadi said, and Dadi looked at me and said, whenever I see you, I should remember only Mama, Lakshmi, Saraswati. And her powerful drishti, and her behind the drishti, Baba's love, which I could see Baba's vision for me as his instrument, as his angel, or as his future deity. That vision was so powerful that was a moment where I think the deep realization came, and from that moment, everything changed. And I could come back to my original, that feeling of being Baba's child, Baba's angel, Baba's instrument. And so, that little influence of extrovertness which was happening at that time changed. And Dadiji, in such a loving way, Baba, through Dadiji, in such a loving way, had, inculcated that attitude of introvertness, the love for Baba's Maryada, the love for Baba's disciplines, as a sense of protection. And that experience, that each Maryada of Baba's, each discipline is my protection. It's actually like a decoration for me, which is going to help me to come closer to my own divinity. And that happiness which was there as I was slowly moving towards understanding Baba's knowledge, because now I was moving in college, so I could go into the depth and understand knowledge, and maybe sometimes share it with other friends which we had there, the Divine Family. And Dadi very deeply used to share with us. And so that was a time, I think, when I was studying, was where Baba was in some way or the other strengthening the foundation and helping me to recognize my role. The enthusiasm which Dadi gave us for also having a lot of attention for our education, Lokik education. I remember every time our result used to come, and we used to share it with Dadi. And Dadi used to have some brothers or some sisters who had come to meet her, few of the BK family. She used to immediately call them near and say, oh, Deepa's result has come, and see, this is the marks and this and that. Is it good? So her appreciation and her encouragement always was there, where she allowed us to have attention to our Lokik education, but not missing our spiritual education. So very lovingly, Dadi always had attention that she has missed Murli this week, she has not come. That attention was there. And with Dadiji, I also found that Baba, in his own beautiful way, was giving me a lot of power through Lokik Mother. She was very strict, where Murli and all those things were concerned. So if I missed, because Thursdays I had to come from college to the center, we go on Thursday and Sunday, because it was far away. So every day was so possible. And if I missed one day also, then I know that at home, the TV also is closed, and She's also in silence. She'll not communicate. The same on Sunday morning. So if I'm feeling a little sleepy also and I'm not getting up, I remember even as a child, she used to sprinkle water also and waken at me and take, no, it's important to come. So that, discipline which at that time she ingrained when she was a little firm, somewhere Baba, was teaching and helping the soul to become, experience that love for Murli, experience that love for Baba's Gyan, experience that, importance for being able to take Baba's sustenance in Baba's home, being connected to the divine family, take blessings from them. And so I think Baba, in his very beautiful way, strengthens us from the foundation. And each one of us, I'm sure, has this experience that our foundation of this beautiful Brahmin life, Baba has strengthened us. So that is why Baba many times says that Bachpan ke din bhulana dena. That is, those beautiful moments which we have experienced of our spiritual childhood have been very, very special. And through every different instrument, Dadiji, mother, I remember so many sisters in the center, so many other BK family, brothers and sisters. Baba was always encouraging me. So if now I can see that that phase where Baba strengthened me and connected me with himself and also Baba's yagya. The most beautiful thing was connecting with Baba's yagya and seeing Baba's yagya as my yagya, my family, my divine family. So I'm equally responsible for it. And yet from childhood, after I finished my education, Dadi many times used to mention to me that in future you have to become Baba's instrument. And I remember at that time, because every year we had children camp in Mount Abu. And at that time, children camp, all of us BK children used to go. So every center we had a group coming from Mumbai, from other cities, everyone used to come. And then we had some special cultural programs, competitions. And it used to be all BK, Baba's children. And so we used to always go every year. And for going there, for being able to qualify for the competitions and some presentation, some song or some other presentations we used to take. Every time there used to be something new. And I remember Dadiji used to have a lot of attention on that also, and she used to groom us. So even for giving us speech, Dadiji actually groomed us, me and other few children also. And we had to, learn the speech. At that time, it was important for us to learn it by heart. But when we are sharing the speech, Dadiji used to explain to us how we have to feel it and share it. So maybe we've remembered it by memorizing it, but then we have to feel every thought and then share it with love, with that emotion. How we should stand, how we should see the audience, everything Tati, it's like teaching us public speaking and how we should experience that feeling of companionship of Baba and allowing Baba to work. So, that very beautiful phase where even slowly Baba was preparing Dadi, through Dadi and through, so many of his beautiful teachings through Murli to be Baba's instrument. And yet Dadi always used to mention this lovingly. And I remember in our one childhood presentation when we had in Madhuban for this children camp, we had a seminar. So it's like, a mock seminar. We created children. We were all just young children and we had created that seminar. So there was a chief guest and someone had become a businessman, someone had become an artist, and then was one dedicated sister and it was Jayanti Ben and I was just practicing and I was just, playing her role and then giving the speech and the others, sharing their experiences. So it was like a mock seminar. And after that, Dadi very lovingly told me that you have to become Master Jayanti. And that is, I was very happy with this, blessing which Dadi was giving me. I really, at that time, really didn't know Jayanti Ben was such a powerful speaker, or Baba such a powerful instrument. I had no deep understanding of that, but that feeling was there that Dadi was blessing me. And Jayanti Ben was someone whom Dadi has so much love for and respect for. So Dadi is blessing me by saying. And somewhere there, Dadi's faith in me as being Baba's instrument was felt. And so I felt that yes, this life, I have to be, I mean, this life is Baba's and I have to be Baba's instrument. The thought was not very strong. So I was also very focused on my studies, and I had a plan for myself, career, doing after my graduation, I'll do my, some computer classes and computer degree, because at that time computers had just begun, and so it was so important for us to do it. And then maybe go for a little job and then go for an MBA. So I planned my career. And how Baba takes over your intellect is such a beautiful experience. After that, after my graduation, I went to Mount Abu. And I had gone to Mount Abu for, at that time, there was a shibir going on. And so Loki Mother was supposed to be a guide for the participants of Science Center. And she was supposed to take them. And because I just finished my graduation, I had holidays. So Dadi said, you also go. And she told me that when you go there, you should also help there, do some seva. So I said, okay. And so I went with Lokik Mother to Madhuban. And it was like for 5 days, that time in Panda Bhavan, the Shibir used to happen. There was no, it was 89, so there was no Gyan Sarovar at that time, and not Shantivan also. And I think 5 days were over. But during those 5 days, because Dadi had asked me, I had tried to look for some seva. And because there were all these Shivratis, or, those guests from outside who had come for Shibir, so they were there for 3 days or 4 days. We were doing all the 7 days course lessons. And our Didi, Shilu Didi, and Dadiji Manor, Dadiji used to be there with Madhuban, and she used to be guiding the Shibir. And as soon as the 5 days were supposed to get over, before that, I had connected with one of my friends who was also there, another Kumari, and she was helping in the serving of the Shibirarthis in Panda Bhavan, up the dining hall. All the Shibirarthis were there, and she was serving. So I also helped. I said, if I can also help you. Palu Dadi was taking care of all the Sevadaris, and Palu Dadi said yes. And so I was helping. So 5 days were over, and I had to go with Lokik Mother back. And yet I was enjoying my seva. And so Palu Dadi asked me that if I can stay back. And I asked my Lokik Mother, and she said, fine, because I had holidays. And I cancelled my ticket. And at that time, Prakash Bhaiji was there in the transport department, and he was not very happy. And he said, you're cancelling last moment. And I stayed back for a month. And again, a ticket was there after a month. There was another, Kumari who was going back to Mumbai. And so I was traveling with her. And she was also a friend. She used to also study in the same college. And again, in that 1 month, Baba got me involved in other spiritual service activities. So I was also spending some time for looking after the sightseeing, the tour of the whole of Panda Bhavan for guests. And so I was just helping the brother there. And maybe Ankita Ben was at that time in the TP office. And, just these wings had started, all the wings, youth wing, medical wing in India. We had these services done by these wings. And so that had just started. So all the receipts which were to be created. So I was just helping. And Dadi had also asked me if you can spend time, if you know English, so you can spend time in the morning. Shilu Didi was giving the Murli class, but when there were few foreigners, Shilu Didi had asked the friend with whom I was going to travel to give the Murli, translate in English. And Dadi was reading, we were translating in English. And because the friend was supposed to leave, She asked me if you can stay back you have holiday, stay back. I stayed back. So again, ticket was cancelled and now no ticket was there. And for 3.5 months, I was in Madhuban. And at that time, I felt the calling coming from Baba. And every time I was sitting in front of Baba's room, in front of Baba, Baba had only one thought: come. And there were so many questions I had because I was not as such mentally prepared. And the first thing I had, oh, my mother is alone. And who will look after her? So, Baba, I have to stay with her and look after her. And I'm laughing because at that time also Baba said, Acha, you will look after your mother? Okay. So when the actual separation had happened, I was very young. So just 5 years. And that's just a year before that, late mother had come to Baba. And so Baba asked me that in that time, who was looking after your mother? Who was looking after you? And I realized, yes, Baba, you were looking after me and my mother. And so Baba said, I will look after her always. And so you come. So it was like every time I sit in front of Baba, Baba asked me to come. Then the other question was, Baba had created such a beautiful plan for my career. Baba, what happens to that? I want to do this, I want to do this. Baba said, Baba has a plan for you. Then again, I remember my third, important question for Baba was that, Baba, I need to work for some time because I planned that in my mind. And so I said, no, little bit I need to work and I will try to help my mother to be financially a little bit strong and then I'll come. And Baba again and again saying, no, child, come now. And somewhere in Madhuban, there was one sister over there who was working in a bank and she was also Kumaris. And her circumstances also were the same. So I knew her. Now she's already serving in a very beautiful way in Chennai, Sister Nilima. And I think Nilima Pen also doesn't remember, but she was at that, she was working and she was in Madhuban doing seva. And I was talking to her and I asked her that I also want to work for some time. And she immediately told me, no, don't do that. Don't make that mistake. And she said, I have been working and I've got so many opportunities where now I really actually don't need to continue the job. I just move into seva. And there are so many opportunities, but I'm not able to take that decision. So don't. And so Baba in very, very beautiful way, actually, created that beautiful circle of love and, protection where every thought which I had was answered. And I took the decision. At that time, there was no email or mobile or nothing. So I had written letters to Dadi, Brijendra Dadi. And I wrote 3 letters to Dadi. First month, then the second month and third month. And I think within 2.5 months, I had written to Dadi that, Dadi, I've taken this decision and now, Dadi, you have to take, help me to convince Lokik mother and you have to guide me and her. Because by that time, I think the little message had reached Lokik mother and she was not very prepared at that time. And Dadi sent me a very beautiful reply and giving me so much of blessings. And that was a time when Dadi, Brijendra Dadi was not well, So I think it was August time and Dadi had fallen ill. And so I took a decision of going back. And when I came back, I was meeting Dadi every day in the center. And Dadi was every day talking to me and telling me, okay, where should I send you? Shall I send you here? Shall I send you here? And preparing. And I think within 15 days, I came to Vileparle for training. And Dadi had some other plans, but Dadi then, it was 89. I think September I came, 15th September. And I think Dadi left the body at 1st January. So somewhere I'm very, very fortunate to be actually the last Kumari who was getting that sustenance from Dadi and whom actually Dadi sent for Baba's service. And that was a time that big decision which Baba helped me to take, where I felt in Madhuban for these 3.5 months, every senior brother of Madhuban or senior sister or Dadi in Madhuban had only one thought. So, the powerful thoughts of the Brahmin family together, they become blessings. And also, surely Baba's thoughts. So that one step of courage which we take at that time is like Baba says, it becomes something which becomes your destiny. Every kalpa, then it creates that beautiful destiny. And I think at that time, the most important thing is what I recognize is that deep faith in Baba, that Baba knows best. So I also had a lot of questions. It doesn't come easily. There are many questions. No, how can I do this? No, Baba not this, Baba like this, Baba that. So I remember in that 3.5 months, I used to argue many times with Baba. But Baba has a response for every question of us. I just feel at a personal level also, that we just need to be open to listen Baba and understand Baba's thought, catch Baba's thought. And as soon as you catch Baba's thought and you receive the answer from Baba, that thought, that question, that confusion merges completely. And then there is 100% clarity. But it's so important for us to surrender those thoughts to Baba. So thoughts do come, but surrendering them, talking to Baba, asking Baba, sometimes not agreeing immediately, but arguing a little bit sometimes also, but yet Baba will very lovingly, even accept us as that time. I still remember that Baba, has unlimited tolerance, and so every time the same question, and yet Baba lovingly listens to us and gives us the response. But it's so important for us that after some time to surrender that intellect and understand that Baba has a plan and Baba knows what's right. And as soon as that happened, I think that was a time where, Baba could immediately lift the soul and then help the soul move forward. So if I see my personality of myself when I was a Kumari and studying in the Lokik world, with my Lokik parent, there was a lot of, you can say, timidness and a lot of fear to even be in the presence of other people. I remember if my Lokik mother would ask me to go to another room. I remember there was some family function or something, and so someone of my auntie asked me to go to the other room to give something, and I refused. And I said, I'm not going there because there are so many people there. And I remember that aunt of mine told my mother, what are you going to do with her? What will happen to her? She's not ready to enter that room because there are people. And so much of, fear, anxiety, and, timidness was there. And then as the surrender comes, we surrender our mind and our intellect to Baba, and we become his instrument. Baba slowly and slowly transforms us. And our original capabilities, competencies, our original virtues and qualities as his instrument, as Baba's child, as Baba's instrument, as Baba's angel emerges. And so, it's so important for us to just let go and allow our mind to surrender to Baba. And Baba transforms. It doesn't mean that timidness or that anxiety used to not come, but very less. It used to come in the form of few thoughts in the beginning, little bit fear to go to the, place somewhere, new place, to interact with someone new. Sometimes even to just before I go to speak somewhere on the stage, little bit. But as soon as I'm on the stage and Baba is with me and his companionship is there. I'm his instrument. Baba used to take over. So in the beginning, that little journey was there, but slowly and slowly, then when I saw myself, I knew this is only Baba. This is not me. And so Baba gives us the soul to transform its sanskar and come back to what it originally is, slowly and slowly. There's a lot of work, but that power which Baba gives us, that immediate jump which the soul can take, is only because we are able to surrender to Baba. After that, there has been also different experiences. Maybe we'll just, as it suggested, that because it's going to be a long interaction, we'll just take a few moments for us to go back to our own experience of surrender to Baba when we came to Baba, and where we were able to surrender all subtle questions and fears and thoughts, and then completely accept Baba's role for us. So can we just have a few moments again? So let's move back in our own journey, remembering our own spiritual childhood when we came to Baba. The love, the sustenance that Baba has showered on us. How slowly Baba revealed himself to us. And how slowly and subtly our intellect started recognizing Baba, his knowledge, his family. And then those few experiences where we surrendered our mind, our heart to Baba. The let go of our past. Those old sanskaras, our own fears, our own thoughts, our own plans for our life. And when we took that step of determination to surrender to Baba through our mind and accept Baba's role for us, see ourselves as his child, his most fortunate child, see ourselves in his lap of love and sustenance, where gently he's creating our fortune, creating our destiny. That gentle and yet powerful transformation within us, where we completely surrender to Baba. No questions now, no doubts now, no thoughts now. 100% unconditional acceptance for Baba's Srimad and Baba's plan for us. The role which Baba has given us, the responsibility which Baba has given us. 100% acceptance. Understanding that there is only and only benefit in Baba's plan for us. Experiencing this power of determined faith Nishchay Buddhi Vijayanti. Where with this determined faith, I become Baba's victorious jewel. Enjoying these moments of loving surrender to Baba. And Baba filling us with His unlimited love, His unlimited strength, His unlimited wisdom. Om Shanti. Each one of us has so many beautiful experiences in their spiritual journey. But if I see mine, especially as Baba's instrument, as I started staying in the center, every moment, because for me, from going to a family where I was the only one with my mother, so I was like the queen of the house. Whatever I say will be, whatever I want to eat will be cooked. And well, I was the only one, so naturally I didn't have to adjust or take into consideration of other want or need or expect. And here coming into the center, and you have some seniors with you, some colleagues with you, and then every step you need to ask, you need to take guidance. Well, even when I started staying in the center, the food which was being cooked was because most of my seniors were from the part of state of Gujarat, and so most of the food was sweet. So I mean, I always used to eat sweets at home, but there used to be like a little dessert or something separate as a sweet. But here everything is sweet. Even the dal is sweet. Even the vegetable is sweet. So sugar or maybe jaggery is put in everything because it's a part of their diet. And so it was so difficult for me to eat. And Dadi had, from beginning, had put this, habit in us to talk to Baba. And so I used to go to Baba's room and tell Baba, I'm not able to eat this. And Baba has come to you. But this is not what I had, expected. And Baba, this is difficult for me. And sometimes, a few tears also were coming. And I was very carefully looking behind that no one should come and sit in Baba's room behind and see me crying. So wiping off my tears and being aware of anyone else who's coming in the room. And yet telling Baba. And Baba very lovingly, I still remember the response. And Baba says, Acha, so food is a problem for you? When you fall in love with someone, Baba reminded me, do look at the person's background, the state, the religion, the food habits. Just fall in love with that person, and then whatever belongs to that person becomes yours. You see, today's Lokik marriages, the Kumari has to go into that family, learn their lifestyle, learn how to not only eat their diet, but also cook that. And you're finding it tough, even though you love me so much. And so this is a love marriage, no? And so you can expect yourself to be having, married into a person with a different background, a different state, a different language, a different food, style. And Baba said, eat that every day. And so that response which Baba gave, deep love which Baba was showering, I felt I have to learn to eat this also. And love. And also learn the language, because the language is needed for Baba's service here. And then it became so easy. Today also, many times, today the food is cooked without jaggery or sugar, because there are more non-Gujaratis in the center. But yet I still enjoy because of the experiences at that time. I many times enjoy the sweet dal or something. So Baba had, when you experience Baba as your life partner and you allow yourself to only make him responsible for you, he's ready to take that responsibility. But if we allow him to become responsible, he will take you across through every situation, lot of love and understanding. He will hold your hand and slowly, gently take you across every small little or difficult situation. And Abba will make, instruments around you also wise and strong to guide you. I also remember that that was a time when even Lokik mother, she was very, very strong afterward. When the decision was taken, she was a little shaken up because she expected that because she was alone, I would be with her and I would also move in this spiritual path, but be with her. But when Dadi spoke to her and talked to her, she was ready. And after that, she was so strong that I remember in the first year, because I was just new. And so at home, as I said, there was never pressure and protected by mother, but sometimes scolded, but not otherwise any pressure or any, maybe sort of discipline was there. And somewhere in the center, some I think must have disturbed me a little bit, and I was a little affected because initially that sensitivity was there. And so someone maybe had said something, and not the person who had said was not actually having any other intention, but I was feeling very bad. And internally, I was very crying. Now, in the beginning, because mother had to be a little oriented also. So I was going nearly every month back home because some documents had to be signed, some other things were there which she needed little support. So I was going every month. So at that time, the next day, I think a day or after 2 days, I was supposed to go. And at that time, there were no mobiles again. So from the landline, very quietly, when no one was looking, I called up my Lokik mother. And I told her, see, I'm not very happy. Something has happened. I mean, I didn't say much about what was my thoughts, but she realized. And I said, see, I was supposed to come here, tomorrow, but is it possible for you to call me today only? You call me you call Didi, senior Didi, and you say that I'm needed today only. And I expected her to say yes, because I'm not saying something, I'm not asking a lot. I'm supposed to go after a day, and she just has to call up and say that I'm needed today. And so wonderfully, she said, no. She said, Deepa, you are staying where? You're staying in Baba's home. Baba is the loving Satguru. Baba is the one who's the ocean of truth, the Lord of truth. And so, beta, you can come. You can come home. This is your home. Very lovingly, she said, this is your house. You can come. You can come today also. But you have to tell Didi, the senior Didi, and come. I can't call her and say something false. And I was a little shocked, because I expected that, oh, this is a simple thing, and she loves me so much. I'm sure she will allow me to come home today or day before, and she can just say with Yukti. And she said, no. And it was so important for me, at that time to understand that I'm very fortunate to have such a powerful mother as, and, Baba's very, very powerful yogi and complete faith in Baba and complete faith in Baba's Srimad. And so I realized, no, Baba is telling me, no, I am your mother, I am your father. Your problem can be solved only by me. So at that time I felt very hurt, but later on, yeah, surely I realized. So that realization that all relationships with the father, Baba gave me that beautiful experience. There was, I mean, Lokik-wise also, all relationships were only with one, but Baba allowed me to shift that also and helped me to seek Baba's support for every small little thing, small little situation also. Baba, this has to be done. Baba, you're with me. So this, so every, you know, any seva also discussion, everything. In seva, in the beginning, because many times, because of the mobile was not there, so communication will not be so easy. And sometimes when you're traveling, because I was not uh, very young and I had to travel to other places to programs and all that. So some very deep experience where I know that at that moment I didn't have the right understanding what to do, how to do, but Baba was there. So somewhere magically things used to fall in place. I remember this one experience where I was supposed to, I'm traveling from Madhuban to back to Mumbai. There's direct train now. And this train, at that time, we used to change trains. That I think we had changed train, and from Ahmedabad, the train which I had to stop at Anand. Anand is a station, city in Gujarat, and we had this company, the Amul, the milk company, and this we had a problem. So as it was going to come in the late night, the brother with me who was also traveling, and told him that Anil bhai, you please. So as I was just sharing that at that time when I was supposed to reach Anand, it was night time. So the brother, was also awake with me, and he was supposed to just take care that I alight down safely. Now, when the station came, he saw that there was no one who had come to pick me up, because even if a sister would be there or a brother, especially in white, they would be visible, and it was night time. And there was one more family, 2, 3 people who had alighted, but there was no sister. So he was not allowing me to alight. He said, Deepa, but now this time is not a time to think about the program. Everything will be managed. You should not go down. But I was so determined that I immediately quickly, alighted from the train. And he was again and again requesting me that please come up. I will explain to Didi. I will explain to them. But at present, it is not safe. There is no one who has come to pick you up. And I said, no, there would be someone. Don't worry. And it was just a 2 minutes. The train stops, and then the train started moving. And he was there on the door only, and he was very concerned. And here I found that this family was there. And I was just thinking that if in case I don't see anyone, I'll talk to the family that we can go to some public booth and maybe call up the center. And so if you can be with me till that time and then go. And I was just thinking about that. And just, I think, a few seconds only, I think not more than 30 seconds, I saw the sister who was coming running from the other side. And just, I think, before this train had just completely taken speed, Anil bhai, I just waved him, and he saw that the sister has come. So he was also reassured. So it was just a few seconds, but in such a beautiful way, Baba gives us that 100% confidence in himself. I was quite young at that time, but I knew that, yes, Baba is there. He is with me, and so somewhere or the other, he has made arrangements. So even if someone has not come to wake me up, there will be no problem. Everything will be fine. But that seva which is there has to be done, because Baba has come to pick me up. That 100% confidence which we have in Baba, and that 100% faith which we have, Baba always responds to that. And so in some small little ways, I found that different experiences, opportunities where I had to go to speak to people, where these people were much, much more years of age, senior, and experience. Because when we used to, our senior Didi is the national coordinator, and now she's the vice chairperson of the business industry wing. So mostly our services were in business houses, business companies. And when we started with them, even Baba's knowledge, how to present to them, there's not so much of experience at all. We had that time had support of some Baba's very special instruments like Makpai, who was Baba's instrument from France, and he's now playing his roles in some other way. He has also become a Vyakt, and Brian Bhai, who also has another role now. But they became instruments to help us to understand what's happening in an organization and maybe how Baba's knowledge can be applied. But still, we didn't have any experience. And it was only Baba's, training or Baba's strength or that confidence that if we are Baba's instrument, we are standing there, he has to respond. And in the initial days and programs, many times there used to be some question which the other person is asking, which is having some business jargon. So, because I didn't have a background of actually working in an organization or, having studied all that, management, information or listen to management gurus, I didn't understand even the question completely. Little bit I understood, but that word which he was using, I couldn't understand. And I'm telling Baba, Baba, now this word I can't understand. How I have to respond to this? You are your responsibility. And that person has just completed his question, and someone else from the group will say, but sister, I have another idea on this. And what that person will express will actually give me more clarity on what this person is saying. And so many times this experience has happened that in some way or the other, Baba sees to it that that word which I am not able to understand, or the way this person is dealing with his questions, some of them very dominating and just wanting to put pressure and just trying to overpower the room and everyone else, and wanting to show that whatever you are speaking, because 30 years back Baba's knowledge was not so much accepted in companies, and yet Baba used to very lovingly give this little signal that child, he just needs love, he just needs respect, he's very cooperative, and used to mm, very lovingly just listen to what he has, and so if you start listening to that person and not saying anything and saying yes, 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 the momentum of that person comes down. And then Baba used to just give a yukti that in the break which happens, go and talk to that person, and used to go and talk to that person and say that, oh, your thought was valuable, your contribution was valuable, and this is how maybe we learn in the Brahma Kumaris. And also that person used to become very friendly, and then later on throughout the other part of the program, he was always easy, always supportive. So Baba training through his murlis, but at that time Baba used to really take over. And all these years, many times people used to ask that sisters or me or other faculty used to go to for programs that where did you get trained for all this? And I mean, though it is unacceptable by them when we say that God has trained us or the Supreme has trained us as a Supreme Teacher, but that's the reality. Baba actually helped us to understand what happens in their workplace, and help us to give Baba's knowledge in such a way in which they can feel it relevant. They can feel it is useful. It plugs in their workplace. So Baba's Murli, as we know now, understand that has so many concepts which are completely relevant to people at work as a professional. And Baba trained, and in such a beautiful way, every day I feel through Murli, Baba is empowering me and each one of us, training us. One thing what I learned from all of my sweet daddies, because I have been having the fortune to be in Vileparle Center, and all our daddies mostly have visited not only but stayed here. Because in the initial time, even if any daddy had to travel to any other city, they used to go via Mumbai, and abroad, especially Dadi Janki used to come. So it was always coming from London by British Airways flight, and then in the morning leaving by either the Indian Airlines or Jet Airways. And after some time, Jet Airways had started. So Dadi used to come the late night. So it used to be 1:30 by the time Dadi comes, and morning she wants to go. So she has to be at the airport by 5. And Dadi in the night also, when she sees all of her sisters awake, she will sit for some time and share some pearls of, Baba's wisdom. And Yogini Didi will say, no, 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 Dadi, you need to rest. Dadi will say, so that loving, availability for us at that time also, 5 minutes, but she will give us. And the morning, Dadi will ask what time I need to leave. And if I say, Didi says, Yogini Didi says 5 o'clock, Dadi would be there 5 to 5. Amrut Vela, she is sleeping only at 2:30, and yet 3:30, Dadi is sitting there. And Didi will say that, Dadi, today you have to travel so you can rest. So Dadi says, okay. So today I have to travel, so I will not go in Baba's room and I will do meditation on this floor only. That is the only liberty she gave herself. But no diversion from any of her routine, whether it's Amrit Ela or anything. And as soon as she's sitting in the car also, what else is being taken? No. In my purse, Murli is being kept, and my spectacles. That's important, because in the morning time, she will be reading her Murli, she will be churning. And so that importance for Baba's Dincharya, for Baba's Murli, Gulzar Dadi, as Baba's chariot in 88, Dadi first time went through this journey of healing herself. And Dadi had cancer, and then the surgery happened in Vileparle in Mumbai, in the hospital here in Nanavati. And Dadi was here for some time. This was in 88. I came in 89. So the second time, when Dadi in 95, if I'm right, Dadi, the cancer relapsed, and then Dadi had to go through chemotherapy treatment. At that time, chemotherapy was very tough, and it could be given only maybe an injection once a month. So it took a lot of time for the person to come back, because it was more just poison entering the body, because it was supposed to actually work on those cancerous germs and all that. So at that time, Dadi's body physically used to be very weak. Even for her to move, from this side to that side, just change sides, was so tough. And yet Dadi's silence was very powerful. Just after chemotherapy, Dadi used to, after a day or two, Dadi used to be brought back to the center. And then some injection had to be given to Dadi. And that was a part of the treatment. And when Dadi was being given that injection every time, we could see Dadi with Baba in Vatan. In a second, Dadi is not here. And throughout the time, because Dadi had these years of silence, but her actual practice of silence for so many years was very easily visible. And you could see that because of that power of silence, Dadi was able to even bear that pain. Even after that, the physiotherapists used to come, and whichever doctors came in her contact, everyone was asking us that how Dadi is able to be non-complaining of the pain, because they used to say Dadi has pain, but Dadi is not complaining. Dadi never liked even to say that this is karma. Dadi said it's a role which Dadi is playing. As a patient also, Dadi has to play this role as with patients. And we know that the Dr. Shuk Mehta and so many others who were touched in that journey now are Baba's children. The deep silence, the power of her introverted nature quality, that power helped Dadi at that time to, experience complete freedom from that experience of pain. Where Dadi, at a facial expression also, that pain sometimes was seen, but no unrest, no distress, no restlessness. Blood sample is being taken, some other x-rays being done. Dadi never inquired what is the result, what is it. Detached. Whoever is the responsibility will do. But Dadi is detached. So that bodiless stage, which we saw Dadi had practiced for so much time, And at that time, when physical pain is there, that is a moment where we can actually check that whether we have the practice of bodilessness, because at that time the body is in so much of pain. And we could see how years Dadi has worked on herself, and because of that, she was able to detach and be with Baba and Vatan. And even after that, I saw that even through other Dadis, Prakashmani Dadiji, Dadi used to come to Pilipali, and whenever there are programs, because whenever she comes to Mumbai, so many centers, sub-zones are there, and all our senior Didis, and because Dadi has been in Mumbai also from 64 to 69, up to when Dadi then became Baba's instrument after Brahma Baba became Avyakt. Till that time, Dadi had spent a time in Mumbai, and she was looking after Gamdevi Center at that time. And so many of her, she had given sustenance to all these seniors who are there in Mumbai. And so everyone used to call Dadi, Dadi, this function, this program. So whenever Dadi used to come in Mumbai, 3-4 days, wherever function, she used to stay in Parla only, because Parla had availability of residents and all. Yogini Ben had taken care, one whole floor was there for Dadis. And Dadi used to come only by late night, 11 o'clock, 11:30, because wherever you travel, wherever after the program, Brahma Bhojan, meeting the family, sisters, and then come. And rest, and in the morning, Dadi said, no, Dadi will meet the family in the center. And so in the night, when she's sleeping also at 11:30, Dadi will very gently put on her torch and read the next day's Murli. And Mohini Ben would be sleeping next to her, and he would say, Dadi, can we put on the light? You can, if you need, we'll put on the light. Mohini Ben is sleeping, so you should not put on the light. And Dadi with that torch also will be reading the next day's Murli. And that complete respect for the one who's sleeping. Dadi was administrative head, but complete love and respect for everyone and taking care of their needs. When Dadi used to come to the center, as soon as she comes, she used to ask Yogini Ben, Yogini, I have come now. Now I'm your instrument. Now you tell what Dadi has to do. Every day she used to ask that, Yogini Ben, what is my program? And even if suppose now Dadi has to leave, Dadi knows she has to leave at this time, 9 o'clock, and there are cars standing outside. So there is 2-3 cars. And so we know that this car, Dadi will sit. Dadi will stand there and ask, where should Dadi sit? Dadi will not choose, okay, I will sit up in front or maybe where it's comfortable for me. No, Dadi will ask. So that respect, that this sister is Baba's instrument, and now she is the one who will guide me. Dadi is administrative head. Dadi has to just actually order her. Dadi says, no. You are now the one who has to decide, and Dadi will do what you say. So that complete humility and being able to see everyone as Baba's Nimit instrument. So I was so fortunate to have this flavor of these beautiful experiences from Dadi. So many learnings, so many deep learnings from them. One moment which I would like to share in the end is that once I remember it must be 10 years of my dedicated life, and it was in Madhuban, and we had this program of business wing going on. And for some letter or something, I was sent by Yogini Ben to Dadi, and I had to give that letter, I think, to Guzar Dadi, because Guzar Dadi was also the chairperson of business wing. And when I went to Dadi cottage, because all the Dadis were having Brahma Bhojan. So I was there, I was sitting outside because they told me that Dadi is having Brahma Bhojan. So after that, you can meet. So I was waiting, and after some time, the brother said that now, and Muniben said that now the Brahma Bhojan is over, the Dadis are talking, you can go and give whatever you want. So I went there, and all 3 Dadis were sitting on the table. And I went to Guzar Dadi, and I said, Dadi, this is the program of whatever information I had to communicate. And Dadi accepted it, and then Dadi, with a lot of love, looked at me, gave drishti, and then she just told Prakashmani Dadiji and Janki Dadi, she is good Baba's instrument. She's always flying in Baba's seva. And immediately, Prakashmani Dadi said that, yes, she doesn't have, her record is clear. Till now, whatever record is there, it's clear. And Janki Dadi said that she has a lot of blessings and many other souls or whoever, some one or two experiences she was sharing that, because I had gone once to London also with Yogini Ben. She said that everyone, she is able to touch with Baba's love. So everyone wants her to come and serve somewhere. And I just felt that all these three daddies, their love and their blessings became like a beautiful canopy over me. And with Baba's canopy, I experience this canopy today also. And it's so beautiful that today also, all our daddies in Avyakt form also, they are sustaining us, they are empowering us. And each one's journey to achieving their karmatit stage is an inspiration for us. Thank you very much for the time. And it was a pleasure to interact with you. Maybe we can have a moment where we can again remind ourselves of this beautiful Avyakt month, just a moment, and thank Baba and all our sweet daddies for their divine sustenance. Just a moment. As allow myself to travel to Baba's angelic world. I, in the form of light, Baba's sweet angel, I see myself, body of light, with the vibrations of purity, radiating. And as I feel myself in the angelic world, this beautiful world of white light, like more than 1,000 moons shining, Baba in his perfect angelic form, Bab Dada in front of me. Baba's loving drishti, cleansing me, healing me, allowing me to reconnect to my own perfect angelic stage. My heart full of gratitude to Baba, thanking Baba for every moment of his love and sustenance. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much. So we have Geeta Didi, like an angel flying all over. Today she has been busy with so many programs.
Yes.
And it's so nice to see you in.
Thank you, Geeta Ben.
Thank you. Geeta Ben
Yeah.
has been my inspiration. And Gulzar Dadi, whatever I've experienced with her, she's always been a companion, because Didi has been being with Gulzar Dadi years and years. And so whenever I remember Dadi, the beautiful company of Neelu Ben, Geeta Didi immediately comes to my mind. So thank you, Geeta Ben.
Thank you, Deepa Ben, that it was so nice to see you and see you soon also. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's always amazing whenever I one thing is understanding that okay, going into the subtle state and daddy is in a very subtle state, but actually being there, observing how they are responding to the injections or any of the things, painful things that we as a humans respond to, and they're not responding to, and then understanding that this stage, witnessing, creates a very deep impression within us. And every time I hear about the Gulzar's stage, it always amazes me. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
refreshing all of those beautiful memories. So, Kanyaben, you want to share something?
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Deepa Ben. Very, very
Thank you.
sharing. Hadn't heard this part of your story and Dadi's sustenance, how much it helps us to shape our lives, to take decisions. Of course, Baba's energy is working through them. And I have always seen you, you command great respect in the yagya with your all the qualities you were mentioning about Dadi's, your humility, your sincerity, your love for Baba and the family. So these are all very wonderful inspirations for everyone. Thank you, and
Thank you.
wishing you all the best in this new year.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Shan.
Anyone have any comments? Feel free to unmute yourself.
Om Shanti. I joined late, but I heard our sister sharing that Baba has all the answers. Whatever question you have, Baba has the answer. And I was thinking, yeah, that's right. And I try to seek the answers in the Murli, but she said something that it's worth considering deep churning. She said that you surrender your thoughts and you listen to Baba, then you'll have clarity. So this is something that it's not just by intellectual answers that you get from Baba, but you have to be in that higher stage to get the answers. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm. Anyone have any questions, comment, Anibin?
Om Shanti. Let me see if I can. Om Shanti. I just wanted to say that I just felt like I was looking at a true angel the whole time. It's been such a deep pleasure, and I'm so grateful that I joined tonight because you are such an inspiration, and you're a beautiful angel. So I'm sure that all of us that are watching have been touched by you this evening. So thank you
Baba.
so much. And thank you,
Baba.
Baba.
Yeah. Vidya?
Om Shanti. I really enjoyed your inspirational stories, and thank you so much. And I really enjoyed it. And my very favorite story was that when you explained about the nails, I really enjoyed that, and it how it bring change to your life. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepa. It's really beautiful. So everyone really enjoys when we get to meet Baba's angels, and then it's a good refresher for because we didn't get all this memories of being with daddies. So when you share, so you make us closer. You bring us closer to daddies. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. And as always, every Monday on the same Zoom, we love to see you. And have a beautiful rest of the year and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Didi.
Thank you. Happy New Year to all.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Happy New Year. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.